Alright, I think we're up. Hey everybody, welcome aboard. Captain Mike here. Today I'm going to do a Spirit Airlines flight. Flight 897 with nonstop service from Myrtle Beach to LaGuardia. So they just ran this flight last night, and they got another one coming up today. They run that flight once a day. Sorry I don't have any of the 2D screens up there. I was doing some night work. Man, I'm a little winded today. Been under the weather. I've been doing some night lighting work, and I didn't have my tablet plugged in, so the battery's just a little bit too low in order to run this flight, since I have to run it unplugged to another computer. So, hey Jackson, how's it going? Alright, with that said, I've got my paperwork. I'm good to go. You probably can barely see it if I lean over on the left hand side there, but we're pretty much good to go, so let's get on out of here. Alright, DC battery selected to bat. DC battery switch is on guarded. Standby power is auto guarded. Alternate flaps are off guarded. Fuel pump switches are off. Wipers are set to park. Electric hydraulic pumps 2 and 1 are off. Landing gears down. We've got 3 green on the aft overhead. The weather radar is set to test. Master caution reset. Ground power is on, and we will, actually I should have did this first. How about we do that first, Johnny? Okay, now we're on ground power. Alright, let's get set for unconditioned air. Galley power. IRS selectors. Emergency exit lights. And temperature is fine. Let's enter our position. KMYR, right? And that's a good match. Alright, let's get some brake pressure in here. We'll give them the logo and position. Flaps are up, and showing up on the aft overhead. Waiting on the brake pressure here. Now that's just about up in the green, and should take hours to deplete if you're not playing with the brakes. But it seems to do it a lot quicker than that, so let's turn that off. And that takes care of the originator flight. Let's move on to the pre-flight. Leading edge devices test. Service interphone is off. EE switches. Let's get those on guarded. Reverses are extinguished. Crew oxygen is 14,000. Passenger oxygen is normal. Guarded. Flight recorder test. Mach speed 1 test and 2. Stall warning 1, and it's too early for that. We'll come back. 3 green on the landing gear. PSCU is out. Let's check our oxygen flow. I'm doing pretty good, Jackson. I hope you're having a good one. And our lights test. Hoping to get 2 rides in here today. Even though I'm still a little bit under the weather, but not feeling dizzy anymore, so that's a plus. Alright, we are good. Flight controls A and B are on guarded. Alternate flaps are off guarded. Spoilers A and B are on guarded. Yaw damper is on. VHF nav is normal. IRS is normal. FMC is normal. Source selector is auto. Control panel is normal. Fuel temperature is fine. Cross feed check. Pumps are off. We're looking good there. AC/DC panel is set. Equipment cooling supply and exhaust is set to normal. Emergency exit lights are on. No smoke and seatbelt signs on. Window heat. And we'll run the overheat test. TAT test. Wing and engine anti-ice are off. Hydraulic pumps, electric 2 and 1 are off. We have 3 entranceways open. Test on the flight data recorder. Pressurization panels all zeroed out. Temperature is fine back there for them. And we're on unconditioned air. Master caution reset. Overheat test. Wing body and master. Very good. And today's ride is 35,000. All right, and we'll check our outflow valve. All right, we'll use the left igniter for this ride, and our lights are good. All right, let's do ATIS clearance and program the flight management computer. ATIS is 123,925.
International Airport. Information Tango. Automated weather is currently out of service. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Automated weather service is currently out of service.
Information Tango.
All right.
Automated weather is currently out of service.
Let's have a look here.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
All right, let's see. And what's ground? Ground is 120.3. All right. Let's have a look here. Let's see if we can request it. D-Link, AOC, request, weather, KMYR, and send. I'm using the latest and greatest from X-Plane 12. It was just released today. Release candidate 1, I believe it is. What do we have here? I believe that's the same that's in my weather briefing as well. Right, variable at 4, 10 statute miles of visibility, broken at 16, overcast 28, 16, 16, 30, 15. Yeah, this is identical to what we have in our load data sheet. All right, so let's put that in, 3015. All right, let's go ahead and let me put in clearance 120.3. Good evening, Myrtle Beach clearances. Spirit Airlines Flight 897, looking for IFR clearance. So LaGuardia is filed. We have information Tango.
Spirit Wings 897, Myrtle Beach ground, clear to LaGuardia. Radar vectors QRS, then is filed. Climb and maintain 14,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 127.4, squawk 2561.
Yeah, Spirit 897, clear to LaGuardia via radar vectors. Creed, then is filed. Climb and maintain 14,000. Expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 127.4, squawk 2561 for Spirit 897. All right, so we're good up to 14. And 2561. All right. And we can program our flight management computer. And we're back on ground. Okay. All right. We're in Myrtle and we're going to LaGuardia. Oh, where's my K? Right, this ride is NKS 0897. And I requested this flight plan since I don't have none of the 2D screens back there for you. I grabbed it. Well, I'll load up as much as I can here. And load that up. Yeah, I'll get the winds and I'll get that in just a second. Let's have a look at that ride. We should have a decent view coming into LaGuardia because they're using 3-1, and we're going to have a light right-hand looping turn coming in into LaGuardia, into runway 31. So the view out that right window should be pretty nice. We're coming in from Proud, so we're going to loop all the way around. Should have a pretty cool view. All right, so we're direct Cree, and then Zordo, James, Allen, Hertz, Grok, Hydra, Prince, Rigby, ENO, Skippy, Bessie, Edgar, Daves, Holly, Brand, Corey, DP, Tykes, Minx, Jerry, Renew, Apple, and then Proud. Right, and we're going to do the RNAV-Y. Right, and I said 3-1, right? Right. And I have to go look at that. Just let me be sure. I should have wrote it down. And we have you, brings us to, yep, and then you, and we can come from Dries. All right, let's have a look at that. And I don't need that anymore. All right, so Cree. Apple, Proud, straight across, and then we're coming around and coming on in. And then we have the hold on the mist. That looks pretty good. All right, now let's come back to I don't think we're direct, right? Yeah, there's no City Star out of Myrtle Beach, so we don't have to worry about any constraints, okay? Other than what we've been given by ATC. So on the way in, let's have a look at LaGuardia. Proud 2 and Rigby. Right at 27. Then Smyrna is going to be above 24. Skippy between 19 and 22. Bessie is above 17. Edgar is between 13 and 17. Davis is above 13. Brand is above 11. Corey is at 10. And then we're good the rest of the way down. And then we are doing Y. Right. So. Jemic, we need to be below 180. Right, and above a deuce. And then New York Jet is in 17. Manel is in at 12. That's looking pretty good. All right. That looks good. All right, now let me have you again. Let's get our payload. Yeah, I'm hoping the next ride later on, this will be all charged up. I can give you the charts in the back. Then you can actually follow along. One of the reasons why I downloaded a lot of this stuff. I'm going to need the electronic flight bag. Whoa. What was that all about? Oh, it's those video drivers again. Look at this. It just cut my frames in half. It's these NVIDIA drivers. I just caught that. Just caught that. See if I can fix that so I don't have to redo this ride. See if this is going to work. Let me bring that to you. Let's try that. See what happens here. Drop my frames all the way down. So these drivers are definitely not going to be staying in here. And that's set there. Okay. I got my frames back. So we should be smooth, but there's definitely an issue with these drivers. Just dropping at a screen like that, and it kills my frames in half. Very strange. And I'm not running 7 monitors with X-Plane. I'm running that one and this small one. That's it. So that's very weird. Hey Christian, welcome aboard. And Vincent. Hey, how's it going? Alright, let me finish putting in our weight, fuel, and balance, and our payload and all that. Fuel this ride is going to be 18.6. 18.6. Our payload is going to be 32.7. And that should give us a zero fuel weight of 127.7. 25 on the CG, 127.7. Very good. Zero fuel weight. Let's get the final reserve. Final reserve alternate 70.43, so we'll go 7.1. Cost index this ride is 35. And we're at 350. Cruise winds. Top of climb 287 at 42. And we're looking at 2. Alright, and we're not going to derate. There's no slope on this runway. The winds are variable at 4, so we're looking pretty good. CG was 25, flaps 5 takeoff, 475 on a trim, 148 on the engine out. And let's get out the set forecast in here. We're at 35, so we'll put in 20, 15, and 10. Okay, and let's see, top of descent, what do we have here? Top of descent, we're looking at 2. And on the way in, we're looking at 30.23. 30.23. And at 20, 253.54. 15 is 258.47. And 10,000 is 264.34. Alright, that looks good. And let's make sure I didn't screw anything up here. One more peek. Yeah, that all looks good. And then we're down to 3, holding 3 till we get to gem key for down for 2, and then holding at a deuce. Very good. Alright, now let me get the pedestal set up here. Now, in case I have to come back, if we got an engine out, we whack some birds or something happens, I have this all programmed in already, so I don't have to go crazy with that. And 357. Alright, 111.9. Alright, that's all looking good. That's looking good. Elevation is good. And that is in. So that's good, that's good, that's good. Ground is 120.3. Tower is going to be 128.45. Alright, departure they said was 127.4. Alright, that's all good. Alright, I'll take terrain, position, data, airport, station. I'm on the master. You can have the slave. And you're going to have station, airport, airport, data, position, weather. Alright. Alright, now we're looking at 0. And we were cleared up to 14. That's all set. Nose wheel steering is normal guarded. Let's check the panels. I'm going to want that up top. I'll take that. And a lower display. Auto flight system is looking pretty good. See, look at the brake pressure. It's almost gone. Let's build that back up again. Alright, let's see. Primary flight display, artificial horizon is level. Ground speed is 0.45 on the speed tape. V1 is 136, V2 148. Heading is 065. I've got a decision height of 200. Local pressure 3015. And we're cleared up to 14. I've got terrain on the nav display. And let's set the standby gauges here. We're looking at 3015. Alright, that's set. That is set. Reset the fuel flow. M1 is set. Auto speed reference. Auto rejected takeoff is set. That's all looking pretty good. 475 on the trim. Let that run amok. And let's check the bottles. And cargo. let's get that test done. That test should be done. And let's check. Stall warning. 1 and 2. Alright. That's all looking pretty good. I will take progress on that.
Descend, crossing, descend. Descend, crossing, descend. Descend, descend.
Alright, let's get these doors buttoned up. Let's get on APU.
Increase climb. Increase climb.
Fuel in the center tank.
Increase descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing. Maintain. Monitor vertical.
And let's get these buttons. Let's get these doors buttoned up. Oh, thanks, Vincent. I appreciate that. Yeah, I bounce back and forth between 2020 and X-Plane, depending on whether I'm flying daytime or nighttime. Alright, ground services. Let's see, we're all set with the brake. That is looking pretty good. Not going to disconnect the power until we're on APU. Sometimes it acts a little funky and disconnects my power, even though I don't want it disconnected when I set the doors to close. I can't remember if it happens here or in MS 2020, so I don't take the chance. Alright, APU is up. Confirm. Okay. Alright, let's get these doors buttoned up. We can come off APU. We can remove the chocks. We'll give that another minute. Let's call for push. They can wait for us. And let me get those doors buttoned up. We're just about ready to get on out of here. Let me have that chart back. And we have runway 36. Yes. Alright, and let's get on APU. Bleed air is good, and let's get disconnected altogether. I do believe we are, though. Let's just check here. Yes.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Yep, we're good. We are ready to go. Alright, don't need that anymore. And we are on ground. See, Spirit Airlines did this ride in 1 hour and 42 minutes, so we'll see just how close we can come to that. This ride is 545 miles, so we got about 110 miles at top of climb. Alright, they're picking us up.
Tail connected and bypassed and inserted. Release parking brake.
Myrtle Beach ground, good evening. Spirit 897 at gate Alpha 6, ready for push and start with Tango.
Spirit wing 897, push and start approved, tail east.
Alright, we're good to get out of here. So, let's get that clock going. Let's get ready to brake.
Starting push back, and you may start engine.
Alright, the packs are off. Duct pressure is good. Anti-collision lights coming on. We're going to start number 2. Yeah, at least it's nice and smooth in the front. If I would have left it the way it was after that little jump, that would be a stuttering mess in the front.
Sorry about that. That's United 1097 Alpha 13 to push. Runway 07 and push back and engine start. United 1097.
Gen 2. Isolation is closed. Right pack to auto. Pressure's good. We're starting number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, we got a clean board. Alright, so we should just have Alpha 1, the 36.
Tow is disconnected. Unbypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, there goes the tow. TA, auto, and let me have you. That's looking pretty good. Alright, and that top half is done. Exterior lights as needed, we are good. APU is needed, it's off. Transponder is TA auto, weather radar is auto, flight controls are free and clear. So, we're good to taxi. Myrtle Ground, good evening, Spirit 897 at gate Alpha 6, looking to taxi to runway 36.
Spirit Wings 897, taxi to runway 36 via Charlie 4, Alpha 1.
Charlie 4, Alpha 1. You got us going down and then coming back. We're just going to swing a left here on Alpha. Charlie 4 is down there. So that was coming down, making a U-turn and coming back. So we're not going to do that. So we got a left on Alpha and then down to Alpha 1. Alright, Alpha all the way down.
right, then Bravo Hotel 1 is Hotel, hold shuttle runway 23 right again. Bravo Hotel 1 is hold short.
Roger, 756. Standby. You're going to require no time, correct? Standby for yes, I was going to suggest runway 7, which will delay for long flight. For the runway 7, proceed according nonstop 3, departure nonstop 3, forward ready to taxi. Pushback is approved, forward ready to taxi.
Let's see if they hand us off.
American 2454 is not.
2454, go.
American 2454, pushback and status is approved. Gate 130, north to the south, take runway 03 right over the platform.
Okay, pushback and start approved, game 130 and American 245.
American 2454 now, Ranger pushback against gate 137, take runway 03 right.
Okay, I understand you want us, that, beam 127, correct?
Answer.
Okay. Ground American 245.
And what do we have here for tower?
American 2454, thank you, please, on hold is going to Iran, confirm what's the one.
Myrtle Beach Tower, good evening. Spirit 897, holding short, runway 36, ready for departure. And we're not going to need that chart anymore, and there's no SID.
Spirit winds 897, Myrtle Beach Tower, runway 36, winds 350 at 4, flight heading 360, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Spirit 897. Let's have a quick peek.
Okay, the cabin is secure. Have a good flight.
10 notification is complete. Exterior lights as needed. We're good. Engine start select is the continuous. Auto throttles arm. Transponders TARA auto. Parking brake release 40%. We're gone.
Approaching 36.
Alright, 40%.
On runway 36.
Stable. Toga. Thrust set. Airspeed's active. Check. Throttle hold. Stable through 80.
V1, rotate. Positive brake.
Gear up. Oh yeah, we got some cloud cover out there.
1,000.
Flaps 1.
Spirit Wings 897, contact departure.
Yeah, Spirit 897, going to departure. And let me flaps up. Departure, Spirit 897, with you climbing through 2100 for 14,000. Man, there's nothing to see out there.
97, Myrtle Beach departure, radar contact, clear direct QRS, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Clear direct, caress, climb flight level 200, Spirit 897. Alright, we're all trimmed out. And yeah, the clouds just covered everything up on the way out. Hopefully we'll have a better view on the way into New York. Oh, thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. Yeah, we didn't get to see much on the way out. So we're at Grandstand right now at Cree. We should have 17.3 with 17.5 on the fuel. 10.7 when we get into LaGuardia. We got 110 miles top of climb. 5:35 to go. I think I finally figured that out. And we're going to 44. A little bit of ground lighting there. Climb maintained flight level. See, I can't even read that. Spirit 897. It runs off the side of my screen. I've asked Brian a few times if he can figure out a way to get this to shrink in a little bit more, but I keep getting ignored. Let me see if I can move this screen and see what the hell he said. And he's got 2845. Let's just switch on over. That's as small as I can make the screen width-wise, and it comes out to about just about where this screen starts. So I can't get to all the text there sometimes. Would be nice if they actually gave me an option to fix that, but I guess it's not high priority. That's my only peeve with the SayIntentions, big time, is it doesn't fit on the screen. All right, and Myrtle Beach departure, Spirit 987 with you, climbing through 12,000 for 20,000.
Spirit Wings 897, Myrtle Beach Tower, climb and maintain 20,000.
Yeah, up to 20,000, Spirit 897. All right, we're inbound Zordo 14.9. What are we looking at? Another 100 miles top of climb, 523 to go. We're pretty smooth, so they can run around. And when do we get on that arrival?
Contact Jacksonville Center on 134.375.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 134.375, Spirit 897. Good night. Jacksonville Center, good evening, Spirit 897 with you, climbing through 15,000, flight level 200.
Spirit Wings 897, Jacksonville Center. Good evening, North Myrtle Beach, altimeter 30.17.
And we get on here at Hertz. So about 150 miles we're going to be on that arrival into LaGuardia. Well, hey Tom, how's it going?
Spirit Wings 897, Jacksonville Center. Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb, maintain flight level 350, Spirit 897. Alright, so we're good all the way up to cruise now. And we can get on you. You should be done. You should be done. All this should be done. Long time ago. Let them know they can run around. Missed that whole section, Johnny. I got some city lights down there now, though. Would have been nice if we had them on the way out, though. Yeah, all right. I'll get him. Wife's bringing out my medication. I think she does it when I'm in here because she knows I'm cornered. Alright, we should be coming into Washington's airspace here in just a bit. Once we switch over, then maybe I'll go take my meds and then I'll come back. Hopefully by then we'll be just about at cruise. Still got 80 miles top of climb. Just over 500 to go. Climbing up beautifully. Temperature is fine. N1, N2 EGT, vibrations, oil pressure, temperature, quantity, all that's fine. Pretty smooth ride out. And this is the latest and greatest from Laminar. They just put out their release candidate 1, I believe it was called. Contact Washington Center on 135.75 or 375. Have a good night. Washington Center, Spirit 897 with you, climbing through 22.6 for 35,000.
Spirit Wings 897, Washington Center, good evening.
Alright, they've already cleared us up to cruise, so I'm going to go take my meds. I'll be right back. hate that inhaler med. Just about 50 miles top of climb. And just about 480 to go. Not a bad departure out of Myrtle. Only issues really were with me, just missing the 10,000 climber. Among other things. Alright, I'll take weather now. You can have the terrain. What do we got in front of us? Didn't see anything. Yeah, just a slight touch, just about 160 miles out. We're going to go right to the left of that. That's enough air. About another 110 miles will be on the arrival. .36 knot crosswind whacking us right now, which will eventually begin to turn into a headwind, which is usually what I end up fighting during my rides. We're looking pretty good, and that should be in range. And at Zordo, we should have 15.2 on the fuel. We're 15.5 right now. We should have 10.5 when we get in another 470 miles. 33 miles now, top of climb. Pretty cool ride so far. Let's have a peek here. And elevation's good for the airport. Apple and 45 into Proud. Proud track 145. Okay. Yeah, just about 100 miles we're going to be on that chart. All right, now. Right. Smyrna. And we're going to 25. 15.2, 15.2, right on the money with the fuel. Okay, Enyo. And Brad, let me just change that.
Thousand to go.
All right, we're coming up on cruise. All right. And max of 200 at Proud, between 6 and 14. That looks fine, and we're not going to be holding there anyway, and that looks pretty good. And the RNAV-Y. Gonna loop all the way around, have a nice view. Stretch this bad boy out. Wasco. Okay, below that, and that's gonna be 3 down to B Pike. Jimmy. Let's do at Jemke, and we'll do I prefer that, and we'll give you beautiful. Proud. Can even put Freed in there. But we don't have to. Back around and then. Alright, I didn't screw nothing up there. That looks good. Alright, jams. We should have 14.3 with 14.8 right now. We're looking pretty good. That's a half hour since we left the gate. 20 minutes since we entered the runway. We've got 210 miles top of descent. 420 to go. Hey, Nostalgic Flight Simmer, how's it going? Australia, wow, great, man. Down under. Oh, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Hey, Andy, have a good night, brother. Glad you stopped by. All right, let me see. I'm not going to need that. And we're not going to need the star until we hit Hurt. And we've got another about 100 miles. So let's come out of there. Let's come out of there. Right, and we're on 107. Very good. That should be in range. Doesn't look like rain's going to be an issue on the way in. It's going to be off to our right a little bit. And that's pretty much it. What do we have at Kennedy? Let's take a look here. Let's request the weather. Okay. Oh, Kennedy at LaGuardia. Weather request, LaGuardia. Let's have a peek. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Andy. I actually have my Sony lens on tonight as well, which is the better lens between that and the, was it Rokonkin, the super ultra wide angle lens. That one's a little bit too faulty. It's not a, I mean, it's not a great lens. It's a good lens. It's not great. But I can't afford that $1,200 lens. I'd rather spend that on some flight sim stuff. All right, LaGuardia, what do we have here? Let's see if it matches my sheet here. See if there's been an update. Or if we're looking at the same thing. All right, what are we looking at? 3:30 at 14, 3:30 at 10. Okay, so we have a little bit of an update, and the winds have come down a little bit. Let's see, visibility is the same. 10 statute miles scattered at 45, broken at 25. Now they're scattered at 2, broken at 25. And it's a little bit better. Be nice if it's clearing up. And what was the pressure? 30-23. It went up to 30-24. It went up a little bit of a notch. So the weather's gotten just a little bit better. But hopefully we'll have a nice view on the way in. Either way, we're going to have a nice looping turn coming into runway 31. And then we've got gate 1, which I've never been to in the real world or in flight simulation. That's over in the corner. So we're coming in on 3-1, but hopefully we're going to come in long and see if we can time that out where we're just going to come right past the other runway coming in and just shoot that taxiway straight down. Make for a nice easy taxi. But that's looking pretty good. And at Alvin we should have 13.9. We're 14.4 right now, 10.6 when we get in, 180 top of descent. 390 to go, so we're under 400 miles now. I don't need that anymore. Oh no, a pretty good run from Zibo-Mod and X-Plane. Only issues were with the pilot. Missing a couple of things here and there. But that's nothing new for me. But I don't think we're going to see anything until we head on down. What are we doing here? Actually, we're doing just under an hour. 59 minutes. Which puts us at 1:34. So, right now we're 8 minutes early. .48 knot crosswind whacking us right now. We got a little bit going on here, not much. I took them. Yep, yeah, you could take that can away. Yep, what are you bringing me now? Oh, that's cookies for Shadow. Co-pilot's getting his cookies. Didn't even do any flying today, and he's getting cookies. I didn't get no cookies. That should be coming into range. Maybe LaGuardia to Chicago later? Or Cleveland or something like that. I have to go take a look. Maybe I'll do a ride out of LaGuardia. Maybe Cleveland.
97, contact Washington Center on 132.025.
Contact Washington Center on 132.025. Spirit 897. Good night. Washington Center, good evening. Spirit 897 with you. 35,000 inbound, Allen. So at Allen, we should have 14 on the fuel. We're at 14.1 right now. We're looking pretty good. 150 miles now, top of descent. Yeah, you know, Andy, when I come in here, if my breathing's keeping me awake or my restless leg or my back or something, I'll come in here, turn on the flight deck, and just set it up for a night flight. Just get it cruise, and then just sit here and chill for a bit. Especially if I have to do my breathing medication, because then my hands get like this, and there's no way I can lay down for a while. All right, that puts us inbound Hertz, and that will put us on the arrival into LaGuardia, and that's 60 miles out. Yes, yes. All right, Andy, have a good night, man. I appreciate you stopping by, brother. I'll catch you on one of my next runs. Hey, Solar Bumblecat, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it might look a little bit sharper tonight because I have the good camera lens on there. It brings you up a little bit closer, so I can't give you the whole flight deck when I run through the flow, but should have a nice view out the window on the way in if the weather cooperates. And you get a decent view of the front flight deck. The camera's basically right over my shoulder, just off outside the pedestal, the end of the pedestal. Tripod leg is up on the deck, one of them, and then the other two are off the deck down on the ground to give you that shot. So it's well out of the way. I can do stuff, reach for stuff, and I don't have to worry about whacking the camera or knocking it over. Nor do I have to worry about my first officer knocking it over when he comes up here, whenever he gets in the mood. Oh, it must be clearing up a bit. I've got some city lights down there. Nice. All right, that should be coming into range now. And it hurts 13.2 on the fuel with 13.7 right now. And we'll have over 10 when we get in. 10.5. 120 miles now, top of descent. 3:30 to go. Got a little bit of weather here off to the right, but we're going to skirt just about all of it. A little bit out to our left as well, but that's far off. Just remains to be seen if we're going to have a decent view for the city lights on the way in. All right, what are we looking at here? Another 30 miles to Hertz, and we're on that chart. Let's bring up that chart. Proud 2. And we're coming into Hertz. Although it's not on the moving map display. We won't hit that until we hit Edla or Edger. Oh yeah, city lights are picking up all over the place down there now. Yeah, nighttime for X-Plane for me is like, I think the best that I can get. It's even better than Microsoft. That's why I prefer this at night. Which is nice because it allows me to run 2 base platforms, X-Plane or MS 2020, either or. Which is nice because if I was just locked into like 2024 and the servers were down, then I wouldn't be able to do any flying. At least now I can still do flying. I don't have to worry about their server load and whatnot. I can fly offline with 2020 and I can fly. Well, I do fly offline with X-Plane.
Spirit Airlines 897, Washington Center, expect the ILS runway 4 approach into LaGuardia. Prompt to arrival, descent coming up in about 20 minutes.
Now, we're not using runway 4. They're using runway 31 in the real world. Spirit 897, request runway 31 into LaGuardia, proud to arrival. See if we'll get that. If not, we're going to continue in with the charts. They're using 31 in the real world.
Spirit Wings 897, runway 31, approved for LaGuardia, maintain proud to arrival.
Maintain proud to arrival, clear for the runway 31 approved to LaGuardia. All right, not bad. So we're going to follow Proud 2 all the way down, and then we're going to take the RNAV-Y around into runway 31. So we'll get a nice view out that right window, as long as the weather cooperates. And looks pretty good so far. All right, 90 miles now to top of descent, and we've got 300 miles to go to LaGuardia. What do you got for me now? Oh, prednisone? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll get that. Hey, so Tom, how's it going? Yeah, I have ortho. I have another map program. I have a whole bunch of stuff that's sitting on a NAS drive that I've tried and I've used. Just a lot of areas just kind of look a little washed out. a little fuzzy. So, and since I'm only using X-Plane at night, I really don't need it. Because during the daytime, I prefer MS 2020. Well, 2024, but they don't have an offline version. Hopefully, if they have one in the future, we'll move over. But 2020 just looks so much better than X-Plane during the daytime. So, but that's all right. I get the best of both worlds. I'll fly X-Plane at night and 2020 during the daytime. So, that's all right by me. So, we're on the arrival into LaGuardia right now. We're inbound Grok. I guess that's near Gordonsville, if you know the area. And that should be in range. And you should be at 38 there, Louis. Get with the program. All in all, it's been a pretty cool ride. Oh, that's nice. Me, I'd like to set up a 20 terabyte NAS drive for the network and just grab everything. And I think I did it in ZL15, if I remember correctly. I don't remember which way the numbers go, but the resolution was amazing for New Jersey. I was down to like 500 feet, and it still looked great. If I can get that for the United States, then I may actually go ahead and fly X-Plane in the daytime, because that really looked great with that ZL setting, that low. But it takes a tremendous amount of space. But these drives, they don't cost that much anymore. So it's just downloading and converting all that stuff. It takes forever. Yeah, I was doing that a long time ago. There was a gentleman out west that actually put all that stuff on a hard drive, and you paid for all the stuff that he put together, and he'd mail you the hard drive. You'd take all the data, put it onto your stuff, and then you'd mail the hard drive on to the next person that was in the list. That went on for a little while, and then the hard drive went missing up in New York City, figures. And then that pretty much ended that, unfortunately. But he had a great idea. You know, he did all the work, and then just the hard drive got passed around. All right, fuel is right on the money. 10.5 when we get in, 265 to go, 53 miles top of descent. We'll give them a little more time before we get them back in their seats, though. Still have some lights down there on the left. And in front. Looks pretty good. Hopefully that trend is going to continue. All right, Ridge. Ridge is 270, yes. And then Smyrna is above 24. So we'll see how the Zibo-Mod handles the descent profile with the latest X-Plane update in here, which is release candidate 1. That's going to be 37, and you are in range now. And Hydra, we should have 12.7. We're 12.9. 10.5 when we get in. We're looking pretty good. All in all, this has been another great run. Still getting whacked with a 54 knot crosswind. She's almost trying to help out to want to be a tailwind, but she'll help a little bit once we make this little bit of a right at Hydra. We'll get a little bit more tail than we are side. Help push us along. And we're a little bit early. Spirit Airlines in the real world did this flight in 1 hour and 42. So we're a little bit ahead of that schedule. We're 52 minutes right now from the gate. And we get in at 5:10, it's 4:26. So another 40 minutes. So that's 1:32. We're looking at about 10 minutes early. So figure between 8 and 10 minutes right now we're looking at. Alright, from here we're going to be inbound Prince. And that's going to be out a little ways. Very nice. We got city lights down here. Definitely has some clouds rolling in with them though. They're fading in and out. We're going to 48 here. And 12.7. The fuel's right on the money. 10.5 when we get in. We got another 25 miles top of descent. Alright, we can get them back in their seats now. And we're good down to 27. That should be coming into range. And let's see, runway approved for LaGuardia. Okay, and we are good for the Proud 2 arrival, so. Matter of fact, I'll bring this all the way down. Let's see how she handles the descent. She should hold somewhere along the way for a bit, especially at 10. That brings us all the way into Corey. Don't know what happened to my transmissions here. There we go. Oh, someone's calling. Call from unavailable. Well, so am I. All right, we're coming up on Prince. 12.4. We're at 12.5. And we've got 214 miles left to go. And here we go. Speed's coming down. And we're on our way down. So that's 57 minutes since we left the gate and 48 minutes since we entered the runway. We've got 210 miles to go to LaGuardia. Right now we're about 8-9 minutes early. So far, the descent on the way down, no porpoising effect going on. It looks rather nice. And I'll take terrain now. You can have the weather. Now we just about have a tailwind, 55 knots, helping us a little bit. So at Ridge, we need to be flight level 270. Right now we're at 30,000 descending. Longest flight I've ever done in the sim? Oh God, I'm not sure. Quite a few hours though, but that was a long time ago. You know, from New York to LA or LA to the Hawaiian Islands. So 6-hour ride, 7-hour ride. But up and down in the flight deck. Didn't sit here for the whole 6-7 hour ride. That's why I prefer the 1 hour, 2 hour rides. Cruise doesn't get too boring. You have enough time to plan your arrival without having to go crazy. And you're not sitting here for hours and hours on end, you know, just staring at monitors, monitoring stuff. That very rarely breaks. All right, at Ridge, 12.4 on the fuel, 12.4 on the fuel, and we're at 27,000 feet right now. Nicely done. 10.9 when we get in, 186 miles to go. Pretty cool. So we need to be above 24 at Smyrna, at Enyo. So right now we're holding 27,000. Let's see if she's going to obey the rest of the descent profile here. Yeah, the 1 or 2 hour flights, Christian, yeah, it gives me about a half an hour to do my offline stuff. You know, going to flight aware, grabbing the real flight, setting up the flight in, you know, sim brief. You know, getting all this set up at the right airport and all that. So, and then you figure an hour flight, hour and a half ride is pretty cool because it's a half hour to get up there, so you're doing stuff. Half hour at cruise, so you can mellow out for a little bit and then plan the arrival, and then you're on your way in to the point where you're not getting so bored out of your skull. So, not too bad. For me, anyway, I prefer this. Some people figure if I'm going to spend all this time setting up a flight, I'm going to do a 5-hour ride. So, you know, I can sit in here and just enjoy the view, which is cool too. Nothing wrong with that. You know, in the daytime, I may end up setting up longer flights in MS 2020 or 2024 because the view is just so spectacular. So flying over the plausible world just doesn't do it for me. Now, if I could buy a NAS drive already set up that had the entire United States at like NL or LN15 on a NAS drive, I'd buy that and then set it up that way, because that really looks good at that resolution. All right, we're coming up on Smyrna now. We need to be above 24. We're at 27, so that's no big deal. Skippy's up next between 19 and 22. And we need to be at 279. We're at 279. Speed's right on the money. Endo, 12.2 on the fuel. Whew, we're 12.2 on the fuel. Getting a little winded here. And we've got 167 to go. Oh no, it's been a great ride. And we got some city lights down there, pretty much all the way out to almost the horizon. Very light, camera might not be picking them up. But I can see them. Look pretty cool. Yeah, I have a NAS drive set up now that has auto set up on it. And then I set up X-Plane to grab it from the NAS drive in all three of my computers. Hey, buddy, you're a little late on this ride. How you doing? You going to take us in? Shadow just showed up. And what's nice is a NAS drive, I set up one NAS drive, and I could feed these three computers for X-Plane off the one NAS drive, instead of having all that data on that computer, that computer, that computer. And it worked out fairly well. All right, we need to be below 22 and above 19. We're 24/7 now, descending. So far, she's pretty much right on the money. I haven't noticed any porpoising effect going on. It's been a pretty cool ride. Using the latest and greatest from Laminar Research, their release candidate 1 that they just put out today. That's in. Only thing that I noticed this ride was my monitors, which I think has to do with the NVIDIA drivers. It drops my frame rates in half for some reason. The screens will just go blank, they'll come back, and my frame rates are cut in half. So I have to go with an NVIDIA, double the frame rates that I had set in order to get back to where I was. And then it seems to run okay for the rest of the trip. It's crazy. But I haven't seen that in a while. That's back with the new video drivers from NVIDIA. So I think they have to go. I think that monitor just froze on the left. I think I just lost that screen. That's frozen. That puppy just died. I haven't seen that before. The other two are looking pretty good. That's dead. Let me see if I can get that back before we head in. That's not good. Good thing it's not the server computer. The server computer goes and I lose the flight. That's never happened before. And that's what their release candidate from today. Interesting is I didn't get any error to send them info package. I got to go take a look at Windows and see what that critical error was. Hopefully there'll be one there showing for X-Plane. See what caused that. Yeah, that right monitor's still working. Yeah. All right, we're coming into Edler between 13 and 17. And we're at 17.9 now. So we're looking pretty good. And how about we get set up here? Right, that's all in, that's all in. Right, that's good. You're going to be... Right. That's in. That is set. Yes, yes. And that's all looking pretty good. Proud 2, and you're set as well. And at Idla, we should be, or Edja, we should be getting on that moving map display. All right, let's have a quick peek here. Hopefully you have a view out that front window. And let's see, bleed air panel is set to auto. Pressurization panel land altitude is in. Passenger signs are on. Auto brake selector is set. Flight instruments and radios are set. Altimeter, local QNH is in. Recall. We got a clean board. I just got to put the landing data VREF minimums in. And you want some drag? We'll give you some drag. 30. And we're coming in at a buck 46. And we're going to 60. Yeah, we might be coming out of the clouds too because we're on our way down as well, so that may be part of it. We had a lot of clouds on the way out. Overcast, we didn't really get to see much. But the weather that they were showing here looks a little bit better than what they were saying we were going to get. Although we're still 100 miles out. All right, we're on that chart. So we need to be above 11 at Brand. We're at 12.7 now, descending. So we're looking pretty good. And Brand, we should have 11.9 on the fuel. We're 11.9 right now. Pressure looks good. Temperature looks good. And we're going to have 10.6 on the fuel when we get in. 110 miles to go. Lighting out there looks pretty cool. I don't know if the camera's getting it, but man, rather nice. You can see a whole bunch of traffic down there on the highway. Red lights heading out towards the left, and headlights coming towards us. Looks pretty cool. Although you can see where they just come to an abrupt stop. That's got to be the first aircraft I've seen on our nav display this entire ride. They're 1,500 feet below us.
1,000 to go.
I don't see them. 1,400 feet below us. 1,300 feet. They're 2.5 miles to our left, though. but I don't see him. Oh, I got him. Yeah, he boogieing. Only have the lights though. All right, we're slowing at 240 now. Corey, 10,000. We're at 10.6 right now, descending. So, and we're just popping on that now. And let's get some lights. Start selectors. Logo, wing. Let them know. We're looking pretty good. Let's have a peek. Exterior lights, check, set. We are good. Engine start selectors to continuous, and I'm already set for terrain. Inbound deputy. And alright, the next hold was, so the descent on this ride was absolutely beautiful. Just a little touch late for Corey, but 60 feet. So that's being a little nitpicky. Hey, we finally got a tailwind at 30 knots, just about. And we're under 100 miles to go now. 94 to go. And we're going to 45. Oh, nope, you're on the wrong page there, Louis. You're going to 56. And the fuel, 11.8. Right on the money. 90 miles to go. And what are we looking at here? We left the gate an hour at 14 minutes ago. We get in at 5:10, so we got another 22 minutes. So 1:35. So we're 7 minutes early, it looks like right now. You can see Newark, New Jersey, and Newark Airport out there to the left. Can't make out the Verrazano Bridge yet. None of that seems to be lit up. Looks like it's just starting to come in, and then all of a sudden it just pops. And we're holding at 10. Beautiful. What are we holding at? We're holding at a deuce. Let's see how it does. So this ride, we're basically going to be coming over my old house in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. There comes Brooklyn and Queens, and so it looks like we're going to have a decent view on the way in. All right, Minx, 11.5, 11.5 on the fuel. 75 miles to go now. Pretty good ride. And we're going to be a few minutes early getting in. There's the Verrazano Bridge. I don't know if you can make out Kennedy out there in the distance. I dimmed out a lot of the lights so they don't stick out like sore thumbs. And we have Newark right there in the corner of the two monitors popping up there on the left. Don't know if you can see that either. And then LaGuardia is basically just about 12 o'clock. Little dark patches you see there. And then once we pass over Proud, we'll start to head on down. It would be nice if the scenery didn't pop in like that, though, if it just rolled in from the end. But I guess you got to take what you can get, right? Oh, you can see it? Oh, that's cool, Jackson. All right, Randu, 11.4, 11.4. Holding beautifully. And from here, we're inbound Apple, and we're going 45. Ah, we can see the airport for LaGuardia. And there's my old neighborhood. I can see where the BQE meets up with the Bell Parkway on 3rd Avenue. I grew up about 6 blocks from there. 61st Street between 4th and 5th Avenue. Oh, thanks, Morning. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was making some adjustments the other day. I wasn't feeling all that great. And I think I got them to where I like them now. Nothing really sticks out too much light-wise. All right, and we're inbound Proud. Right, from Proud, we're going to be switching on over here. And we've got 3-1 on the RNAV-Y. Oh, we got some rain here. Only on the center monitor. No rain on the outside. That's Laminar's networking that they seem to be ignoring. It's been broke ever since they introduced networking. And it's still not fixed. And at the expo, we were told 3rd quarter. Although I guess in Ben's defense, he didn't say what year. Maybe 3rd quarter 2025. Got a little bit of rain up there. Pretty clear down here, though. Alright, so we're inbound dries. Dries, we're going to go hit Waspo to Jabed, Beat Pike, Chemic, New York Jet, Mantle, and then we're on our way in to 3-1. Oh yeah, the wipers, yeah. The 3D rain effect with the wipers, yeah, they'll be making a comeback. I'm just waiting for these guys to get done with their networking rain. It looks kind of ridiculous just having rain on the front, and then you don't have it on the left or right, then you have it on the right, then you don't have it on the left, or you have it in the center and the right, and you don't have it on the left. It's really nutty. I try to avoid thunderstorms in X-plane at night because their lightning is just... I mean, if you suffer from epilepsy or have seizure disorder, you should not fly in thunderstorms in X-plane 12. I mean, that light's flashing all over the place. Instead of having it light up the entire, all three screens, you'll get a flash there, flash there, flash there, flash, 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 flash. It's insane. So if you're doing some network flying, you really want to stay away from lightning. Especially if you have a seizure disorder or suffer from epilepsy, because that could trigger it. That's how bad it is. Granted, that's just my opinion, but I worked for the New York City Fire Department on an ambulance for 5 years before doing a lateral move into law enforcement, so I have a little bit of training to back that up. Man, working for the New York City Fire Department, that seems like 2 or 3 lifetimes ago. Man. All right, from there we're going to 069 with the wind 070. Okay. And we're on our way down now. If you're flying live weather, I don't think you could turn the lightning off. I mean, I could change the weather where I'm not flying with live weather and then get rid of the thunderstorms. That I could do. But if I want to fly with live weather and there's thunderstorms in the area, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I guess I could try and find the files that they're using for the lightning bolts and then make them invisible. But then you would never see lightning. So far, she's handled this descent beautifully. Little speed break on the way down, but not that big of a deal. And we're pretty much right on the money. No porpoising effect. I didn't really notice anything on the way in. My only issue seems to be with NVIDIA and the monitors dropping half their frame rate all of a sudden. And that computer crashed. And I'm not getting anything out of these 2 monitors. See, I'm talking about with the weather? Because both of these computers are up and running. I can see the, I have on the upper left-hand corner, I can see the frame rates. So if I get flickers and stutters, I can see what the deal is. But you can see their weather doesn't match. Now we're starting to come out of it on the left, and we're coming out of it on the right, but nothing in the center. We had lights the whole time. Kills the entire effect, but yet Laminar still hasn't gotten around to fixing it. And it's been years. Years. Let me give you some drag here. I'm on it. We need to be below 210 at Waspo. And we're still 3.5 miles out. We're 250 knots slowing. So we got a couple of right-hand turns coming up. Hopefully you get a good view out that right window. And And we got some nasty weather, so I don't think it's going to be all that bright down there. But the lights should be peeking through pretty cool. And let's dump you, and what we're going to do is we're going to start slowing all together. Me flaps 1. Keep slowing, baby. I get the nose down, give you a better view of the lights out the front. Give me 5. Give me 10. Here's Newark out to the right. You got Teterboro out there as well. Farmingdale Airport. And Islip is that big black patch right out there to the left. Here we go. We got rain in the center again, nothing on the right sides. Now, do those lights look a little too bright in the front? I have to take a look at that. Looks like they may be a little too bright. And yeah, especially the way they're blasting back and forth with the lighting. I would clearly stay away from that. I kind of do a little bit of a both morning. But I try to get in here live every day, basically to try and keep my brain from getting too out of whack. I have a lesion on my brain, and I get forgetful of stuff. And coming in here and focusing on this every day, setting up flights, kind of seems to keep me from... keeps me, I guess, on track, focused. I don't seem to be forgetting as much. But I have to do it every day and drill it into my head, or else there have been times I come in here and I can't remember how to turn on the computers. And I have to go back inside the living room and I sit down for a little while, and then in the back of my mind it must click, because all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, what are you, a schmuck? And I go back in here and I click, 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 click. And I hit all the buttons and dials, and the computers are up and running, and I'm good to go. But it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. But I've been doing this for 10 years now, so far so good. I've been able to keep it going. But one day I may come in here and not be able to turn it on anymore. Who knows? But I think I'm close to 1,000 flights on YouTube now, with a mix of live flight and a lot of YouTube video stuff. Because prior to going live all the time, which is probably another reason why I'm doing a little more live, my pulmonologist actually put me on a new medication called a Neuro, and that seems to have helped out quite a bit for me. And I don't feel as bad where I can sit in here. A lot of my flights where you see they're taped, you know, prior to me flying, I'll come in here and pause the sim, go lay down when I'm at cruise because my breathing was bothering me or something, and then, you know, I'll come back and unpause it and continue, and then I'll cut and paste and then put up the videos. But now I'm able to do a little bit more live flights because I don't have to jump and go lay down, because I think it's because of the Neuro. It seemed to have eased up since then, which is pretty cool. And I don't seem to wake up out of the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night gasping for air, trying to catch my breath. So he definitely hit on something, which is pretty cool, which allows me more time in here. So you can't get any better than that, right? What are we, about 12 miles out? Let's get the gear down. Let's get configured here. I'm BSing and I'm not paying attention here. I know we're holding at a deuce, right? And on the way out, we're looking at, yeah, okay. Straight out, and then we're over the, yep. And give me 15. And I'll take the speed. Let's go all the way down. You should have a pretty nice view out the front window now. You think that front view is a little too bright compared to the side monitors? It's hard for me to tell because I'm on an angle. And we'll go right to 30 on the flaps. I usually go back and take a look at the video footage and then kind of guesstimate and make changes. From here it looks like that's not bright enough. So we're 6.5 miles out. You can see it's still difficult to try and pick up LaGuardia Airport because I adjusted all the lighting. They used to stick out like a sore thumb. You can see them for tens and thousands of miles away, just about. You can't make out Newark anymore. You can't make out Teterboro. You can make out the runways here at Kennedy, but that's pretty much it. Everything else kind of blends in. So Kennedy is just in the left-hand corner, right where the monitor meets, just above the glass shield here. Just below where a few of those red lights are. I don't know if you can make those out. And this has been all auto flight so far, and it has been absolutely superb. Got one more right-hand turn coming up, and then maybe I'll take it. Looks like we got another aircraft coming in. Coming around our way, or they're coming into runway 4. And I'm not going to need that chart anymore. Let me have the map. We're going to swing this all the way down to the end. We're going to let it roll down. Hopefully we can get off at AA, because we have gate 1, which is terminal A, all the way down at the end there. Yeah, all breathing and the cancers and all that, that's all courtesy of 9/11. I was a first responder in New York back then in 2001. And the oxygen's just yet another parting gift. That looks pretty good to me. It looks like there might be a little too much color there, though. And you know what? My bird, I'll take control now. And we're going back to 2000. And on the way out. All in all, been a great ride. I think she turned that one a little bit too soon, though. But other than that, a very enjoyable ride. Yeah, I don't know if that's got too much color, maybe. Beautiful ride. And I tell you, the Zibo-Mod handles just so well, man. Oh. I tell you, it reminds me of the feel of the multi-million-dollar sim I've been in. Although I am using real Boeing yoke and rudder pedals, so I'm sure that helps a little bit.
Approaching minimums.
Approaching 3-1.
Minimums.
Continue. 11 knot. Oh, just about crosswind here. Whacking us a little bit. A little bit of flicker on that left monitor there. Prepare for landing.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10,
LaGuardia. Hide your wallet. And don't talk to strangers.
Baby nuts.
And what are we coming down to? We want to come down to AA, so let's cross over here.
2,000 feet remaining.
We're going to cross over here, and we're going to take AA right here after this.
Approaching 2-2.
Yeah, we want AA. We will take AA. What a beautiful ride. Alright, let's get set up here real quick. Alright, you're going to go to TA, you're going to go to stand test, and off, and let's get the APU up and running. Alright, we can have a quick peek. Exterior lights as needed, we are good. APU start, yep, we're getting that up and running. Your damper's off, window heat switches are off, pro heat switches are off, engine start selectors as needed, they are off, auto brake is off, speed brake is down, flaps are up, transponders TA auto, weather radar is set to test. We're just waiting on the APU now. And we've got gate 1, which is down here in the corner. Oh, you don't have the charts, I forgot. You guys don't have the charts back there. Yep. Okay. Yep. So runway to runway, that was an hour and a half. And they did this ride in an hour and 42. It's an hour 39 right now. So 3 minutes. We get to the gate, we're good. Another pretty good run. And we're going to take this down to CY. And APU is up. Confirm. And we'll just say that's been a minute. And we can kill number 2. I hope you enjoyed that ride, everybody. I'm hoping to get another one afterwards. Maybe from here to Cleveland, Chicago. I don't know, we'll see. And we're coming up to CY. And okay, that's what we want right here. And we should be the last one on the left. Somebody in our spot. I think somebody's in our spot. Yeah, I know. Looks like somebody's in our gate, so we're going to sit right up here. We'll pull right up to the fence. That's our gate right there. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that ride. I always have a blast when I'm in here. Let's get set up here. And set the chocks, GPU, ASU. Let's get those doors. Chocks are in position. We can lose the brake. We're set for ground power. Let's convert. All right, AC selector is good. We'll get set for unconditioned air. Don't need the APU anymore. Dump you, dump you, dump you, and you're on standby. Let's have a peek. Electrical power, APU or ground, we're on ground. Bleed air panel, we're set for unconditioned air. APU bleed switch is off. Left and right packs are set to auto. Isolation valve is open. We are good. Fuel levers to cut off. They are. Anti-collision light is off. Passenger signs are off. Fuel pump switches are off. Electrical power check set. Galley power is off. Window heat switches are off. Hydraulic pumps, electric 2 and 1, are off. Exterior lights as needed. We have logo and position. We are looking good. Flight director switches are off. Chocks in position. Parking brake is off. Alright, that's a wrap, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that little run from Myrtle Beach to LaGuardia. I always have fun. An hour and 42. It just went to an hour and 43. So we were probably a minute early maybe on this ride compared to what they did in the real world. Not bad. Pretty cool ride. Only issues was I had that left monitor actually crash on me, just lock up. I have to go take a look and see what that issue is. And NVIDIA drivers here in the center just reduced my frame rates in half. That issue disappeared a while ago. All of a sudden it seems like it's back with these drivers. Or the latest update from X-Plane. I have to go take a look at that. So I'm hoping to get another ride in a little bit earlier, a little bit later that is. And for those of you that were with me today, I hope you enjoyed the ride and the view. I always enjoy the company and the conversation, everybody. So thanks for joining me today. Did I miss any conversations here on the back end? All right, I got the settings. I got the epilepsy. Okay, I got that YouTube stuff. Okay, thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing your flight adventures. I'm glad to do it, Morning. Definitely glad to do it, man. Were you a former professional pilot or level of not? Well, I flew in the real world, but just the putt-putt stuff. I didn't fly, I wasn't type rated in the NG, anything like that. That was before I met my wife. I was flying out of MacArthur Airport out in Long Island, and I did some flying out at Teterboro as well in New Jersey. But funny thing is, my wife didn't want me flying because she said it was too dangerous, right? So I ended up working for the New York City Fire Department on an ambulance up in Station 15. My PAR, or primary area of response, was 125th Street, Lexington Avenue. Talk about an unsafe neighborhood, right? And then from there, after doing that for 5 years, it was kind of a dead-end job unless you knew somebody, or else you really weren't going anywhere. So a friend of mine wanted a job with Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, and I didn't even know what the job was. He went down to Washington, which is where you grab the forms, and 2 pages stuck together, 2 forms, and he made me fill out the form. And lo and behold, after I took the exam, my list number was 13 out of 37,500 people. So I had to go find out what that job was. And then I did a lateral move because it was still part of the same pension system. It was part of NICES, which is the New York City Employees Retirement System. So then I ended up working law enforcement, working down by the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, and then working in Manhattan, lower Manhattan. And then 9/11 happened and all that stuff happened. But the funny thing is, you think about flying, she's like, oh, it's dangerous, I don't want you doing that. And then here I am with a gun strapped to my hip. So, go figure, right? So, and I think she just got Shadow up to go have dinner. See you later, pal. He showed up for part of the flight here on the back end. Yeah. All right, everybody. Hopefully I'll catch you on another flight later on today. I'm going to take a look at these 2 issues, see if I can figure that out. Maybe they're both related to the NVIDIA drivers there. We'll see. If I have to roll back, I'll roll back. But I definitely want to try and get another ride in here. I hope you enjoyed that view with the Sony lens. It gets you in a little bit closer, but you get a cleaner view, I think. So I may do that again on my next ride, which will be X-Plane 12 at night. All right, everybody. I'll catch you on my next run. Take care.
Pretty cool ride.
So
Tower 1855, Delta 585.
Center, good morning, Falcon 114 Bravo Delta 6300 for 10,000, Gladys.
Giant Type 63, radar contact, flight level 02 Bravo, flight level 290. Operator 99, please wide approaching the loop. Guardia, Emirates 9935, descend the other side to 1 Kilo South, and reverse of the RMT runway.